Well, let's take a look at a game played earlier on today for the bronze medal. The Czechs went up against the Swiss, and the Czechs were expected to roll right over the Swiss, but that didn't happen. They started well, playing from right to left. Liebe and Reichel combining here. And Pavoni was beaten, and that's number one with Liebe putting it in the net. Reichel got the assist, and it really did look like the runaway was about to begin.
Only 2 minutes and 16 seconds into this first period. You see the beautiful little pass by Reichel here, drops it back. Liebe just rips a wrist shot in there past Pavoni. Really handcuffed him on the shot. Everybody dropping down to the net now. You can see Reichel going in, creating the screen right here as the shot comes in. And Pavoni had a tough time picking that one up as Liebe just whips the wrist shot past him. Whips the wrist shot.
I think they get the picture. So that's number one for Czechoslovakia. And again, they continue to apply the pressure. Keep your eye on the big defenseman, Zvela, in the circle. That's one reason why he made the second All-Star team in this competition. He's got a great shot, he's strong defensively, and he makes it 2-0 for Czechoslovakia. Levina setting him up.
Nothing that fancy about this one. Levina doing a good job behind the net, holding off his Czech coming around and finding the open one. Svela, who moved in. He certainly loves to do that. 4 goals and 4 assists for Big Svela in this tournament. He's really showing his stuff here. He has got a boomer, big right-handed shooting defenseman. Watch him wind up and just crank this one. Again, defenseman moving out, screening the goaltender. Pavoni didn't have a lot of chance on that.
Right at the end of the period, it looked like the Czechs would score another one, but that didn't happen. And so the period ended 2-0 in favor of the Czechs. The Swiss were playing defensive hockey as everyone expected, but then all of a sudden they brought their game together and they started to go forward and they started getting goals. A turnover in the neutral zone, and next thing you know, the Swiss are away. Eberle, watch this guy working along the boards. He doesn't give up. Keeps at it, keeps at it, keeps at it, gets a bounce. Eberle comes out, takes the shot, and he scores. Boy, talk about forechecking.
This is just poor defensive play on the part of the Czechs, but let's give Eberle a lot of credit. He's never stopped working, but look at nobody between Eberle and the net. You've got 3 red sweaters there against 2, and nobody's taking the defensive position on Eberle. He comes out, possibly looking for the one-time pass across the other side to Weber, who's got set up there on the left-hand side. He's going to walk out here. Breeze freezes for a second, and the puck's by him between the pads.
Breeze will want to take a look at that one again and see what he did wrong.
He's just playing it a little too catty there, too far back in the net.
A power play situation coming up here with the Swiss having the man advantage in the dying seconds. The clock is ticking down. And the actual official time was 19:59. Triolzi getting the shot away. Breeze again beaten. And hey, we have a 2-2 game. The Swiss are considering going for bronze at the last moment. Before the game, all the talk was that they were happy to settle for 4th place.
Well, that's the oldest trick in the book, giving his team the psychological edge. Watch the Swiss find the Czechoslovakian defense spread out here in their box. You saw the man run out to his point there. And all of a sudden, Triolzi finds himself all alone with time to wind up and blast it. Again, Breeze a little back on his heels. This one squirts through in between the pads.
A good feed by Kessler from way back at the blue. And Triolzi makes no mistake. After 2 periods now, a bit of a shock around this ice rink in Prague. It's a 2-2 game. 3rd period action. And the Czechs really do decide to pour it on. Janecki goes right through the crease on the backhander and puts it under the goaltender, and that makes it 3-2 for the Czechs.
At the outset of that period, we talked about the Czechs trying to get more aggressive in the offensive zone. This leads to a turnover in the zone. 2 passes, and it's Janecki that profits from this one, coming across in the backhand, taking out Pavoni and tucking that one away. But big sigh of relief in the rink at that point.
Was there ever another capacity crowd here in the sport hall? Everyone willing the Czechs on to a bronze medal, and for a moment in the second period it looked like it could be close. For some reason The Swiss went into a shell as they did in the first period. They didn't play good hockey. They went defensively. In the second period, they were playing some magical stuff, getting shots on goals and even getting goals. They decided to go back to the old routine. And this is what happened. Reichel collected the pass and puts it in to make it 4-2.
You can see why Robert Reichel is such a valued person on this team. Coming back from the Calgary Flames after his original season in the National Hockey League. He scored 20 in the National Hockey League this year. Watch him rip this one past. Whipping the wrist shot. Ball is what we call this one here.
Kadlec sets him up nicely, and all he has to do is put it in the net.
You can see how we talked about before, the transition game, how quickly Kadlec got up on the attack there and helped out Reichel, giving them that pretty pass.
Well, with time ticking down, the Swiss decide to pull their goaltender, and that's when Herbeck comes up with a big goal. Zemlichka passes it up nicely, and it's so easy for the all-star forward, number 18, Herbeck, collects an easy goal, and that makes it 5-2. And the bronze medal belongs to Czechoslovakia.
The third bronze medal for Czechoslovakia in 4 years. And this really has been a great show that the Czechs have put on for everybody. They were pretty good right from the start of this tournament. Of course, they're playing in front of their hometown crowd, so that was expected.
Well, the Czechs were unlucky not to be in the final. They lost to the Finns in a shootout. That was close. But nevertheless, they pick up the bronze. We have a short break coming up. We have third period action coming up in a moment. We'll be right back.